here this year, December 5th through the 7th, like you mentioned. So you'll see the Division II games on Thursday. Then you'll see 1, 3, and 5 on Friday, Saturday with 2, 4, and 6. But it'll be tremendous level of high school football here at Finley Stadium in December.
Always a lot of fun. Dave Keelan's down on the field visiting with our friends from Ultimate Roofing. Dave?
That's right. Joining me is Ryan Baxter, the owner and operator of Ultimate Roofing. He is our sponsor here for the halftime show here on Friday Night Rivals this season. Ryan, we certainly do appreciate you being a part of Friday Night Rivals this season. Your first experience here. What's your impression seeing all the red and blue?
I'm going to say this. These guys are serious. I mean, these guys are serious. I don't know if this is a high school game, if this is a major league game, but this is serious. This is serious news.
You said it earlier. You said, I've been around town for years and years and years. I never knew what the M's and B's were. Now it all comes together. It all makes sense, right?
Oh, no, it definitely makes sense. I don't know if maybe I need to get a flag and put in the back of our trucks or how. I don't know what I need to do now. I feel obligated.
Just get you an Ultimate Roofing. Ultimate Roofing, put it up, during Baylor McCallie. First week in October. Just keep that in mind. Now, Ryan, you've got a big announcement to make tonight. Going to break it right here on Friday Night Rivals. Yeah. Tell us about this big news you've got.
All right, so what we're going to do is we've done this every year. We're doing it again next year. It's an ultimate blessing. So we're actually going to give away a free roof and a total exterior on somebody's home who's needing a roof and exterior that maybe they've been through some hard times, and it's someone who gives back to the community, and we come in and say, listen, you've given to the community long enough. You go ahead and step back and let us take care of you. And we're actually partnering with you guys so people can come in on November 18th, I believe, to newschannel9.com and submit who they think they think is a good fit for this ultimate blessing.
Brian, that is awesome. We appreciate you being able to do that, especially this time of year. I know there's so many people who are so kind of hard hit, especially the weather that came through. I'm sure there's probably a few roofs that need work. Thank you so much for doing this, giving back. We appreciate you. We appreciate you being a part of Friday Night Rivals this season.
Hey, absolutely. We absolutely love it. We love everybody here, and we're excited to see what happens tonight.
Ryan Baxter of Ultimate Roofing. Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Let's go ahead and toss it back to the studio to Josh Rowe. Josh? getting ready for the Baylor-McCallie game here back at Baylor campus, and joining me now is our Shrunk 3D post-game sponsor, Carter Cochran. Carter, good to have you back. What are your thoughts? You were like, I didn't realize this was going to be as big as it was. This is your first Baylor-McCallie experience. Just first thoughts running through your head.
Yeah, this atmosphere is insane. It's like a college game. There's a jumbotron. I mean, this is really cool. It's cool to experience.
All right, so we've got another Shrunk 3D figure here. We're going to unbox this one. We're going to show it to you live on TV tonight. Are we sure? We don't know which one this is. So let's just see firsthand what we've got here.
All right, so let's see. I'll put this box down. Oh, let's see. This is the MVP of the Signal Mountain game.
Very cool.
You can see the Signal Mountain on the base. We can put anything on the base. We can make the base any color that you want or need. But yeah, look at the detail on that. You can see the Dr. Pepper, the helmet, and everything. That's pretty cool.
This is so cool. That was Garrett Wilson, who was our player of the game for the Friday Night Rivals game with Signal Mountain and Hickson at Signal Mountain. It rained that night. There was a lot of things. There was a lot of factors in this one. A lot of grass stains on there. Didn't really catch the gas stains, but there's a black uniform as well too. But you see,
you can see the dirt on his legs and his knees. Yeah. So all sorts of detail on this. So we're giving these out this season, and we're super excited about it. So call us, come by our website if you want one yourself. They make great gifts.
Shrunk 3D Chattanooga. That's the one. That's what gets you to Carter. He can. I don't know. I don't know if you got any belts or anything. Professional wrestling belts or something like that. We could throw that in there, right?
Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Carter, thank you for being a part of this. We appreciate you. Shrunk 3D. We'll get back to you after halftime. We'll talk a little more. We'll get things going. Enjoy the Baylor-McCallie game.
Absolutely, I will. Thanks, Dave.
Cool. Guys, let's go ahead and send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Dave Keelan. Dave Keelan down on the field tonight. Chris Goforth alongside Scott McMahon as we get set to kick this one off. Coming up in just a few minutes as the captains make their way to midfield. We're joined tonight and all season by the Tennessee Army National Guard for tonight's coin toss, and we're going to hear more from them coming up later on in the show. Scott, we talked earlier about the McCallie defense and the ground game for Baylor. How about the quarterbacks? They're two new guys, if you will. Briggs Cherry playing quarterback this year for Baylor. 13 touchdowns and an interception. Elliot Drapeau at McCallie has thrown 12 touchdowns and only one interception this season.
Both for starting, this season being the starting quarterbacks, they've been really good. Drapeau is a lefty, so it's interesting to see him, 6'5", 200 guy. And then you'll see Briggs Cherry at 6'4", 200. Both of them juniors, and both of them being fairly highly recruited. But both of them can get it done. Cherry with over 1,000 yards passing so far this season, and that really is a tribute to the wide receiver talent he's got on that football team at Baylor.
Baylor has won the toss. The Red Raiders will receive. We'll be back with the Food City kickoff here on Dr. Pepper. Friday Night Rivals on the CW Chattanooga, presented by Village Volkswagen of Chattanooga.
TS. Call Mid-South Equipment today.
Back at the Baylor School just in time for our Food City kickoff tonight. From Haywood Stadium, EB Red Adder Field. Elliot Arnold has it teed up to kick it off for McCallie. The Blue Tornado come in 5-1 on the year. They're ranked number 2. Baylor comes in a perfect 6-0 on this season. And we will see this Baylor offense to get things going as they will send back Caden Dewey and also Cam Sparks to return this kick. And Scott, we talked about how good the kickers are for both teams. Let's see if Elliot Arnold gives the Red Raiders a chance to return something. It's a line drive kick, and it will go out of bounds.
Little juiced up is Elliot Arnold, but he's definitely got the leg. But I think he just was excited to get that one underway and pulled it a little left. But go out of bounds. Baylor will have the ball. Again, you know, you see this in football at any level. You find it interesting to say, to think that you could win the toss and not defer to the second half. But it typically says that's what kind of confidence you got in your offense, that you want the ball in your offense's hands, which means Briggs Cherry, which means Shakai Mills-Knight at the running back position, which means Cam Sparks, Joakim Dotson, who's a Tennessee commit. Those guys are going to be your playmakers, and Coach Eric Kimry, who calls his own plays, is like, okay, we want to put some points on the board immediately.
And it's David Gabriel George who opens in the backfield, and it's George that gets the first handoff. And George, first down yardage out close to midfield. He goes to the 49-yard line before he's ridden down.
Ridden down by Sean Covetier. And also you had 31 Gabe Abercrombie. But boy, that's the first I've seen him in person. And we've heard a lot about David Gabriel Georges. And he has, on that run, just made it look smooth, you know. Just keeping his eyes up, keeping his balance. Just kind of left, right. First down, Big Red.
Shakai Mills-Knight on a wing as they bring Sparks in motion. And McCallie shifts. Here's the give again. Gabriel Georges to the right side, and he's got it. See you later. Touchdown. Baylor strikes first.
Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, haven't seen a cut like that since Jameer Gibbs at Dalton High School years back. Was Jameer playing with the Lions, Detroit Lions. So here's a sophomore, and watch this. Boom, gives him that get leg, as Johnny Majors used to call it. He is out to the house, ladies and gentlemen. That was impressive. My goodness, I think I'll question myself on that. If I'm Eric Kimry, I'll take the ball first too, man. 2 plays and you're in the end zone. Holy smokes.
A 51-yard touchdown run. The extra point attempt is missed. That's the way it goes, right? We brag on the kickers, and you see what happens.
Right. All right. I jinxed him. I'll take it.
It is a 6-0 Baylor lead. They take only 2 plays to get it in the end zone. David Gabriel Georges. Scott, this is a sophomore now. Let's put a little perspective behind this.
Here, let's get another look at it, too.
Auburn,
Boom.
Ohio State, Ole Miss, Oregon, Syracuse, Tennessee, and Virginia Tech, all after his services.
He's a 10th grader, probably can't even drive. I mean, that's what kind of talent this guy has got, and it's amazing. He comes from Montreal, Canada. There's been some issue with the language barrier. He's trying to learn English as good as he can, but he's got his running mate in the backfield there, Shakai Mills-Knight, who's also from Canada, and has helped him, you know, with his English. So he's going to get better at that immediately. 6 foot, 185, and you saw the quickness. He put that foot in the ground, and I mean, it was to 5th gear for the Chattanooga Dental Care touchdown. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what I've been hearing about, and that's why this guy has been so impressive. David Gabriel Georges, the running back, with a touchdown on play number 2.
All right, let's see what McCallie can do now. It's their opportunity. Felipe LaForge will be the one to kick it off. Keyshawn Tabito back deep, along with Loya Velade. And this will go into the end zone off the crossbar. A heck of a kick by LaForge.
You got some booming legs here. What a way to start the game if you're on the red side. Wow.
McCallie at 5-1 on the year. They are 2-0 in region play. This offense averaging 32 points per game. We talked about their head coach, Joel Bradford. In his first year here, his 12th overall at McCallie. Oh, who are we kidding? He's been at McCallie since he was a 6th grader, outside of the 5 years that he spent playing for the Chattanooga Mocs. Elliott drop ball the quarterback, and they will hand it off. They go on the ground and trying to break free. It was Keelan Seam, and Seam stuffed just after he picks up about 3 on first down. Call it 2nd down and 7. This McCallie offensive line, Joel Bradford says it is the backbone of this team. As you get a look at the Big Woody Tree Service starting lineup for the Blue Tornado, they average about 255 pounds up front. Musa Sek is 6'5", 320. He's the one to watch out for, drawing interest from Syracuse, Boston College, and others. Off play action. Here's drop ball to throw, and it's pulled in by Emmerich Bryce. And Bryce scampers for a first down out across the 45.
Bryce, big body wide receiver.
That was Hunter Glasgow. It was 6 and not 5.
Okay, Glasgow was 6'4", 195 for his target. Coach Bradford says, boy, lengthy and can run, and you saw why that was such an easy target. The defensive back had backed off and given him about a 10-yard cushion, so that was an easy pitch and catch for Drapeau to Glasgow.
Elliot Drapeau has thrown for 920 yards, 12 touchdowns, only 1 interception, completing about 63% of his passes. Jacob Lamontagne, the tight end, he goes to a wing to the right side. Here's the give straight ahead again to Seam. And Keelan Seam gets about 2 across the 40 to the 41.
Kobe Barrett from his safety position steps up and made the initial stop. Here's your defensive lineup for Baylor, which does include a number of guys. C.J. Weiler at defensive end with 13.5 tackles coming in. And you've just got some guys that are experienced here. I really like Joel Lowenberg, the middle linebacker. He is committed to MTSU, 6'1", 215, but 35 tackles on the year with 2 sacks and 3 tackles for loss. He has been a great player, number 4, the middle linebacker for Baylor.
Back on the ground again to see him, and once again the Baylor defense there to snuff him out as he tries to run up between the tackles. That was Jaden Arenas-Michael on the stop, along with a host of others. That is a good group of 4 linebackers that Baylor will throw out there in this 3-4. You mentioned Lowenberg, Scott. Bradley Alunga-Bisalele, a Buffalo commit, has 37 tackles and 4.5 sacks. He leads the team in total stops.
Been impressive, 6'2", 215, and just one more contributor on that Baylor defense.
Big 3rd down here. McCallie picked up a first down earlier on this drive with Drapeau going through the air. Here he is off play action. Quick throw, incomplete. Pass was intended again for Glasgow.
Jamian Theodore with the breakup there. He's got 10 tackles on the year, but what a nice pass breakup here. Let's take another look at it. Pressure on Drapeau, and tried to make it happen. Intended target was Hunter Glasgow again, but as we mentioned, Jamian Theodore broke it up. Brings up 4th down. Looks like McCallie in punt formation.
Malachi Jacobs set to punt it away. Tyler Rice standing back at his own 20-yard line, waiting for a chance to return it. Jacobs averaging 39 yards a kick this season. He gets away a nice line drive kick, goes over the head of Jacobs. Goes inside the 20 and takes a McCallie bounce inside the 10-yard line. They down it at about the 6, and that is where Baylor will take over on offense. Red Raiders with a 6-0 lead. 8:21 to go, first quarter. Back to Haywood Stadium. Red Raider ball.
College football, it's a Pepper thing.
Back at our Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by Village Volkswagen of Chattanooga. There's a look at the long-time fixture at the McCallie School, former head coach, now the defensive coordinator in Ralph Potter, a guy that he played here, played for his dad or played at McCallie for his father, Pete. At one time was also the head coach here at Baylor, yes, for a period. And at McCallie, also at Brentwood Academy at one time.
And of course, he was the head coach, as you mentioned, and that just shows you what kind of a football guy he is. He's like, wanted to step down from all the head coaching duties, but I still want to be involved. So calling defense is what he's really hung his hat on throughout his career. So he continues to do that. Now, of course, the head coach, McCallie's led by Joel Bradford. I'm sure Coach Potter was happy to hand those administrative duties that a head coach has to have off to Joel.
I will say this, it was a little different this week, getting a chance to talk to both of these coaches. Scott, we did not get a single quote from Socrates from Joel Bradford like we would usually get in talking to Ralph Potter. So it was, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was a little disappointed that Coach Bradford didn't give me a little philosophy lesson while we talked.
He probably didn't. Well, I'm sure he knew, because I'm sure that's not the only time he talks about it.
I'd say if I've heard it from Coach Potter, you can better believe that Joel Bradford has heard it. There's Shakai Mills-Knight for a couple. Top-rated running back recruit in the state of Tennessee. He's a four-star kid, and he's committed to Ole Miss.
Committed to Ole Miss, but that doesn't mean the rest of them aren't trying to recruit him. Michigan, Tennessee, Alabama, some of the other ones in the mix. You really got to look at these guys. This offensive line is enormous.
Here he comes again. Shakai Mills-Knight gets out close to the 25-yard line. Last time Baylor had the ball, they needed only 2 plays to go 65 yards. It was David Gabriel Georges who took it 51 for the touchdown. The extra point was missed. 6-0. That's how we got to this point here, where we approach the 7.5-minute mark of the first quarter. Following a McCallie punt. Baylor back on the move. Drop the handoff. It's loose, and having to fall on it is Briggs Cherry. Cherry was trying to execute the play fake with Shakai Mills-Knight. Looks like it bounced off his hip and fell to the ground. And a heads-up play by Cherry as you get a look at his numbers on the year.
Yeah, to save that fall. It could have been a fumble easily. We'll get another look at it. Just what you were talking about, it kind of hooked on the hip of Shakai Mills-Knight, goes straight to the ground, and Cherry did the smart thing and just fall on top of it.
David Gabriel Georges is back in. And here he goes. And McCallie does a nice job stringing him out and finally cutting him down over on the far side. It was Philippe Robert.
And Cooper Gentle on cleaning it up after the contact. We understand quickly you got to contain that guy. My goodness, what a game breaker.
A big third down here after the loss. It sets up 3rd down and long for the Baylor offense. Gabriel Georges in the backfield. And here's Cherry to throw. Over the middle, has a man complete in stride.
Cam Sparks.
It's Cam Sparks. First time we've called his name tonight. Big play potential out of Sparks. That is his 29th reception of the season.
Love the way Briggs Cherry looked to the right side like it was going to be a screen pass, then came back to the left where Cam Sparks is running a slant move and caught him right there on the hash mark for a pretty big gain. So that's about 15 because it brings up 4th and 1.
There's a look at your McCallie defense.
Cooper Gentle, keep him in mind. Also number 3, Carson Lawrence. 2 of the leaders on this group.
Defense allowing just 67 yards a game. Baylor with 51 on one play to take the lead. Here comes Cherry under center. They hand off, hit immediately. Soon as he took the handoff, Robert met him in the backfield, and Shakai Mills-Knight is stopped on a 4th down, and McCallie is going to take over with great field position.
Huge play. Watch this again. I mean, as soon as he touches the football, you're right. Philippe Robert, 6'1", 225. Bang, just stops him in his tracks. Doesn't even get close to the first down marker. And that is a nice play by Robert, who is, like I said, a senior, very physical type player, and just returned from an injury last week. So he's still kind of trying to knock the rust off of it, if you will. But boy, that one will get your confidence back. What a tremendous play.
And McCallie takes over now with a first down and 10 at the Baylor 33. Red Raiders failed to convert on a 4th down. Tabito to the top of your screen. Drapeau, the left-hander, taking a shot, going for the end zone, and it's broken up. Incomplete pass, knocked down by Cody Davenport.
Yeah, well played by Davenport, the cornerback, 5'9", 175. You saw once he caught the ball in his vision, and that was just smooth as glass on the throw, but right at the last second could not connect with, of course, Drapeau and number 1, Keyshawn Tabito, their 6', 175-pound receiver. It was there for a split second, but couldn't finish the deal.
McCallie wants to cash in after getting the 4th down stop. Back on the ground, inside the 30-yard line. It's Seam,
and then Joel Lowenberg makes the stop at middle linebacker, but not until he picks up a couple.
Keelan Seam, the guy that head coach Joel Bradford says is the heart and soul of this team. 5 out of 6 games this year for McCallie. He's rushed for at least 100 yards, 650 on the season to go along with 9 rushing touchdowns.
Just talks about how he cares so much. And I think when you've got leaders on your football team that care so much, it is contagious with the other guys because they hold them to a higher standard.
Seam remains in. 3rd down now for McCallie. Drapeau drops it off to the tight end Larrabee, and Ryan Larrabee knocked down at the 30-yard line.
Big closing speed and closing.
It's Tyler Rice.
Yeah, Tyler Rice gets the tackle, and he comes flying in there. Once he read the play that it was going to be a little screen to the right side, whoo, you see 25 come flying in. Tyler Rice, one of their leaders on at his safety position, a senior.
So opposing offenses are only 2 of 12 so far this season against the Red Raider defense on 4th down. Here is McCallie on a 4th down. Drapeau, the lefty, fires in traffic, and it is intercepted. Coming down with a football is Jamian Theodore.
Wow, Theodore, what a play. 6', 160 from his cornerback position. It looked like they completed the pass for just a second, but no, Theodore strips it from him before he could hit the ground and comes up with a number 5 with a big turnover early in this game. Here you get another look at it. Really good throw, kind of, I guess you could say behind him a skosh, but Keyshawn Tabito could not come up with it. And then you see Theodore just snag it right away from him. What a tremendous athletic play, and what a momentum swinger too.
Baylor starts at their own 24-yard line. Both coaches, a little bit of riverboat gambling happening here early. Both trying to convert on a 4th down. Here goes Gabriel Georges to the outside. Georges first down out to the 40-yard line.
If you're one-on-one with that guy, man, you can't get him. I mean, it's not like wrapping up or whatever. He's got so many shake and bakes and so many moves before you can, the defender can even just focus on what he's going to do. He's zipped 3 and 4 different times left and right, and gosh, he's hard to handle. Slippery, I guess, would be the best way to describe him.
Both of those backs, both Gabriel Georges and Shakai Mills-Knight, both originally hail from Montreal. A low snap, and here he comes again. Georges now to the 45, struggles out to midfield in the 50-yard line before he is finally pulled down there by McCallie. It's another first down, and I believe that was Philippe Robert again on the stop. 86 yards rushing already in this game for David Gabriel Georges.
What a talent. We'll talk about his story more here in just a little bit.
He's the leading rusher for the Red Raiders coming into this game. And it looks like we'll get a flag. This may be movement up front on McCallie.
Encroachment on the defense. Play first down.
Encroachment on the Blue Tornado defense.
Going back to David Gabriel Georges, he was the guy that came from Canada, essentially visited both of these schools and chose Baylor. Now there's another couple guys who did that from Canada, but that is just an interesting thing because you get on campus, you see both places, you see all the trophies and all the sports that they've all won, and you got to make a choice. So I think his connection with Shakai Mills-Knight probably was a big factor in why he chose the red.
Hit in the backfield as soon as he took the handoff from Cherry, and he's knocked down immediately. It was Cooper Gentle getting in on the stop.
Gentle comes in tonight, 48 tackles, 2 sacks, 6 tackles for a loss. He is, like we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast here, old-fashioned wedge buster. Coach Bradford says he's the strongest guy on the team, and he is 4th of 4 football-playing brothers, so he probably got beat up pretty good in the pickup games in the backyard, I guarantee you, because he's the smallest, too, of the 4.
2 brothers played on the offensive line at Harvard, and of course, the middle brother in Carson is playing for the University of Tennessee. Here's Sparks on the end around to the far side, and again, it's Robert among those there to upend him. And we see the football go into the hands of Cam Sparks, who is one of the more highly recruited players in our area.
Stop is made by Loia Valadez, 5'11", 180 safety. Now, McCallie plays that 30 stack. So what that essentially means is you got 3 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and then you have the options of playing 3 safeties, which is kind of what they do. Now, one will step up in, run defense, that type of thing, or if they have to cover a slot receiver.
Shakai Mills-Knight on 3rd down, stacked up. Gentle there to finish him off. After he was hit and stood up initially, I believe it was Gabe Abercrombie was the first one in on the stop. Fisher French in there as well from McCallie.
You mentioned the Tornado defense on how little they give up from a rushing standpoint, yardage-wise. They also average giving up 12.5 points per game. So this has been a stingy bunch in blue, and if you can slow down these athletes that Baylor has so far, you've done some certain things, and they've done that on 2 possessions. Couldn't stop on that first possession, but they've done pretty good on the second too. And we're just a little bit before the end of the quarter, so Baylor calls timeout.
Baylor takes a timeout here. It's a 6-0 game. Baylor scored on their opening possession. David Gabriel Georges, he takes it 51 yards for the score. 6-0 Baylor. Will return back to the Baylor School after this. Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by Village Volkswagen of Chattanooga.
.com/Chattanooga today.
6-0 Baylor. Final few seconds left in this first quarter as the Red Raiders prepare to punt the ball away. Make sure you stick around for our halftime report presented by Ultimate Roofing. We'll hear from our friends at Dr. Pepper, plus Dave Keelan checking out what's on the lot at Village Volkswagen of Chattanooga. Crisco 4th, Scott McMahon, Dave Keelan. Haywood Stadium, E.B. Red Adder Field for Baylor and McCallie. A rivalry that started in 1905. Not exactly sure how many times they've played. It depends on who you ask.
Right. It depends on which sideline you're standing on.
Shutters will punt it away. Sam Shutters, who punted 8 times last week for Baylor. We'll talk about the weather both of these teams had to play in a week ago. It was, both head coaches used the same word to describe the weather last week. They both said miserable is what they had to deal with a week ago. Baylor eked out a 7-6 win over Brentwood Academy, and for McCallie, they won 13-0 against Montgomery Bell Academy. So weather last Friday night was not great in the Nashville area.
No, it wasn't. And as you mentioned, 7-6, and I think they were, Coach Kimmery and the guys in red were just happy to get on the bus and come back home with a 1-point victory. They would have taken it anywhere they could have gotten it.
Great punt by Shutters. Goes out of bounds inside the 10-yard line, and that's where McCallie will begin this drive. Backed up deep from their own 9. Elliot Drapeau, the left-handed quarterback. Trying to go to the right side and see him tripped up before he can get to the corner. Once again, that was Jaden Arenas Michael.
Yeah, Michael, absolutely huge. 6'4", 265, has an offer from Boston College. He's just a junior, so he'll get more offers than just that one. But you see him right there, 99. He is a big boy.
That's the final play of the first quarter. We head to the second. It's a 6-0 Baylor lead. McCallie with the football backed up deep. As we continue, Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by Village Volkswagen of Chattanooga. Red Raiders, the only score of the first quarter.
Delivery fees. DoorDash.
6-0 Baylor leading McCallie as we open up the second quarter of play. After the game, make sure you stick around, catch a full hour of Whose Line Is It Anyway, followed by Inside the NFL. That's coming up tonight after our hour action here at Baylor. Baylor and McCallie tonight on Friday Night Rivals. And before play can resume, we're waiting on the okay from the officials. Now I think we're ready. Baylor scored on the second play from scrimmage. That has been our only score so far tonight. And here is Drapeau rolling out, has a man, it's complete and out of bounds. Carson Lawrence made the catch.
You talk about a smooth release and throw there from Drapeau to Carson Lawrence. Lawrence, big target though, 6'3", 195. You see him number 3 there. He is committed to Vanderbilt and runs well, great route runner, deep threat. He just brings it all. And we're not even talking about his defensive play. So I think he's projected as a defensive back at the collegiate level. But certainly if the wide receiver coach got a hold of him and the priority was to play wide receiver, he definitely could do that. Whatever he focuses on, he'll be good at it.
An empty set now for Drapeau. Left-hander feels pressure. He'll drop it off quickly and surrounded. Nowhere to go after making the catch was Keelan Seam.
That's Lowenberg. That's Cody Davenport. That's a whole host of Red Raiders all on that. Looked like they knew what play was coming their way, but once they threw that screen, you'll get another look at it. Drapeau dumps it off, but they had no blocking, no help over there. Throw in big Jaden Arenas Michelle in that group too, man. Just guys pursuing the football. As soon as they saw the catch, they got him down on the ground for about a 2-yard loss.
They moved back from about the 22-yard line to just inside the 20. It was a great punt by Sam Shutters on the last Baylor possession. Had McCallie backed up to their own 9. Drapeau again releases, putting it up, and it's intercepted for the second time. Jamian Theodore with the interception for Baylor.
Wow, he is playing some football tonight, isn't he? Number 5, 6 foot, 160-pound junior. Theodore, super fast, and he shows you right here the closing speed on that. It looked completely like Keyshawn Thibodeau had the football, but then he just kind of took it away from him. Yeah, stripped him and comes up with a second huge play.
Scott, that's kind of reminiscent to the first interception tonight. That is the second turnover for McCallie, so Baylor will start in great field position inside the McCallie 29-yard line. So this McCallie defense that has played so well this year, they'll have their backs against the wall as Briggs Cherry brings them to the line with an empty set. Cherry guns it over the middle, complete. Sparks makes one miss, makes 2 miss, and he's surrounded and pulled down at around the 15-yard line. Give him the 14, and you see just that one little step that Cam Sparks has.
And again, Cherry looks the play off and comes back to Cam Sparks, look down through the middle. You saw Edison Polo with one of the big defensive ends, 6'2", 285. Be one of the guys on the stop there, but as you mentioned, he made a lot of guys miss and picked up that CHI Memorial first down for the Baylor school inside the Dr. Pepper Maroon zone too. We got it all going on this play.
3 receptions, 32 yards. They throw again for Sparks, middle of the field. It's complete inside the 5, and this will bring up now a first down and goal to go.
You put Sparks one-on-one with Sean Covetier, and it's going to happen for Sparks about 8 out of 10 times, I would think. Just one more step, and he probably gets in the end zone. It's pretty well defended once, he got him on the ground as soon as he could, but Sparks is just such an athlete. It's ridiculous at 6'3", 215.
Gabriel Georges will waltz into the end zone, and a touchdown for Baylor.
Huge hole in the middle before the man, I should say, David Gabriel Georges, and he gets the touchdown number 2 on the night. Let's take another look at it. You see that big offensive line. Their guys are so huge, it's ridiculous. 79, Cabe Osienda is 6'8", 320. 71, Charlie Edgeworth is 6'7", 330. I mean, these guys are monsters up front.
And LaForge's extra point attempt is up, and he drives this one home.
And there's your light show, ladies and gentlemen.
Just inside 10 minutes to go in the first half, and Baylor has opened up a 2-touchdown lead. It is now 13-0 Red Raiders on top of McCallie.
Don't adjust your TVs.
Blue Raider ball when we return. Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by Village Volkswagen of Chattanooga. Gabriel Georges, his second score of the half. 13-0 Baylor on top of McCallie. 9:54 remaining in the first half. Tonight's halftime report brought to you by Ultimate Roofing. We'll have a recap of the first half of action here at Baylor. Plus, we catch up with the Tennessee Army National Guard. That is coming up later on in the show. 2 rushing touchdowns tonight for David Gabriel Georges of Baylor. He's got 96 yards, 6 carries, and 2 touchdowns. LaForge set to kick it off, as McCallie will have Keyshawn Tabito back deep along with, well, this will be Tabito from inside the 1-yard line. They'll say he stepped into the end zone. That'll go down as a touchback on our Food City kickoff. A 13-0 lead for Baylor. They scored on the second play from scrimmage, and then McCallie on their last possession, an interception, the second interception thrown by McCallie in this first half. And the Red Raiders take advantage of it. They go 29 yards in 3 plays. And again, it's Gabriel Georges with a touchdown. So here comes McCallie again. Elliot Drapeau has spread the ball around to 4 different McCallie receivers tonight.
Now it's big pressure because you cannot give it back to them with a turnover or great field position, you know, this quick. So to see what they come out here and run will be interesting.
Here is Siam, and Siam is caught from behind, and he'll be ridden down, just bear hugged around his shoulders and pulled down to the turf by Jimmy Bryson.
Bryson, the big nose guard with that tackle. It looks to me like they're really keying on Siam and saying, okay, we're going to try our best to stop you, and we're going to try and put it on the new guy, the lefty Elliot Drapeau. So we'll see what happens. Drapeau's going to have to step up, and not that those interceptions were really his fault. They were kind of just strip interceptions after the receiver caught it, but can't turn it over in this, that quickly. Got to have a possession worth your salt here if you're McCallie.
Siam finds a little crease, picks up a couple. Will bring up a 3rd down and short for the McCallie offense.
Good thing about Siam too, he's kind of a bulldozer, but he's got great feet and vision, so he's got the speed. Coach Bradford said, man, he's strong as an ox, but he can also, run once he gets through a hole. So consistency at the leadership position is what Keelan Siam brings to you as a senior running back, number 26 for the Blue Tornado.
3rd down and 2. McCallie trying to put a drive together. And here goes Siam to the left side. And let's see, Siam, he's going to get enough for the first down, it looks like, based on the spot on the far side of the field.
Colby Barrett was in on that stop. A number of Red Raiders plugged up that left side.
Well, McCallie
Bryson in there again too. Sorry, Chris.
McCallie head coach Joel Bradford called this offensive line, said this is the backbone of the team. They average about 255 across that front. We've talked about Musa Sek, a couple of 2-year starters on the left side, and Tremari Watkins and Jaden Huggins-Key. Maybe time to try to line up and run behind those big guys.
CHI Memorial first down, so they got that benefit, and out to, a little bit past the 30-yard line. They're on 30.
Siam. And Siam, ankle tackled, reaching in was Chris Reniger.
Yeah, Reniger came flying in there. Now looks like there's a penalty flag. So, holding on McCallie. That'll back him up. Well, that's Lowenberg on your screen right there. But 27, Chris Reniger came in, made a nice tackle, but came into the game with 22 tackles, a sack and a half, 2 tackles for a loss. And he's a guy that can, not a starter, but he can spell some folks, and you saw the quickness to the football.
10 yards from the spot of the flag.
Holding the call against McCallie. So back up the Blue Tornado after that miscue. Reniger, a kid that suffered the foot injury last year, and somebody they feel like at Baylor, there's high hopes for what he can be in his senior year, and they feel like he continues to get better. And it's 1st down and long for McCallie, trailing Baylor by 2 scores. Drapeau will throw, feels pressure, and he goes down. He is Jaden Arenas Michael, wrapped him up around the ankles and dropped him.
Keaton Whaley in there as also, and big 79, who is Gabe Osenda. He's usually an offensive lineman starter, but he's in there on defense. 79, see him throw him down. But as you mentioned, the original tackle. That was a nice team effort from the Baylor Red Raiders.
Osinda, by the way, 6'8", 325.
Yeah.
He is a massive human being down there.
Would you like to pay his grocery bill?
There's about 4 moons orbiting around that guy. Here's Drapove. Feeling pressure from the backside. He releases downfield and incomplete at midfield.
Carson
in
Lawrence.
And out of the hands of Carson Lawrence at the 50.
Lawrence just could not hang on. Look how frustrated he is because he knew he was one-on-one with that defender. Not that he was going to break it, but just come up with the catch would have been a huge gain. Probably would have been about a 25-plus yard game and just could not do a thing about it. And that's Drapove throwing kind of a jump pass. He was off the plant foot on the back, and like we just mentioned, Lawrence at 6'3", 195 just could not find the handle on it.
I'm not sure Lawrence, the way he came down, Scott, maybe he came down on the football to knock the air out of him a little bit.
He looks like he's walking off okay, but yeah, there must have been a initial football knocking the air out of him type of situation.
An all-state player a season ago at McCallie. He of the one-handed catch in the end zone last year for McCallie.
Yeah.
Remember that play?
That was impressive, man.
Unbelievable.
Vanderbilt commitment. We'll see if that's where he signs in December. You know, you almost hesitate nowadays to talk about who's committed where because we all know, you know, things can change quickly, especially if you have a great senior year. And then the transfer portal. We won't even start in with that.
Third down.
Picked
and
off
long.
again.
It's intercepted again.
Guess who?
Theodore. Pick six.
Have you a night, young man? My goodness, 3 interceptions, and we're not even 6 minutes. We still got 6:11 left in the second quarter. Holy cow! I wonder if he dreamt about that last night. That is thrown just right to him. I mean, that's not really a whole lot of effort. He just Johnny on the spot. 6 foot, 160-pound junior, making a huge name for himself tonight. There's been some legends in this series, but he has certainly put his name in the hat in the first half here.
Midway through the second quarter.
Wow.
And that is the third turnover for McCallie.
Chattanooga Dental Care first down. And they get the extra point. Light show, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle your seatbelts.
Midway through the second quarter. And Baylor with a lead 20-0 over McCallie. Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals, presented by Village Volkswagen of Chattanooga on the CW. We'll return to the Baylor School right after this.
City.
McCallie tried to figure out what's next. Baylor out in front 20-0. 3 McCallie turnovers in the first half, and Baylor with a 20-0 lead midway through this second quarter. Stick around after the game tonight. You can get all the latest scores and highlights from the area on the sideline.